we asked this question. We went around the table on this. As an alumni of the Islanders, this is perfectly suited for you, Ray. They lose Game 1, 8-2. They lose Game 2 with 8 seconds to go when Point's not playing, Stamkos isn't playing, Killorn's out, and the Islanders were clearly the better team. Which one is the tougher pill to swallow, Game 1 or Game 2 if you're the Islanders?
Oh, Game 2 by a mile. The first game, like by the 10-minute mark of the second period, the game's over. It's 5-1. It's like, doesn't even matter what happens anymore. The game's lost. And here you are, you're at a point of the game where you're thinking about, if you're sitting on the bench, you're thinking about overtime for sure. And then it's over. Like that one, I think last night would be by far the more difficult one to chew.
Yeah, and I wonder how they overcome it. I guess they got to hope. Point doesn't play and Killorn gets suspended and Stamkos isn't coming back. Like at some point, Tampa's going to be struggling, you would think, offensively.
Well, I think like the loss of Point would be enormous for them. I found it interesting. Barry Trotz said after the game, I feel like this series is close to tipping, and like tipping over. And sometimes, of course, the coach is just making it up, but they obviously felt pretty good about their game, and I'm sure they're hoping that Point's not playing next game and that Killorn's suspended as well.
Yeah. I thought the Killorn hit was the exact same thing Kotkaniemi did, and I think he deserves the exact same thing. A game suspension, which was that game he played. I don't think it was anything different. If you put them side by side, they'd be exactly the same.
I thought the game misconduct is enough.
That's right.
I thought I like the rule, guys, that with plays like that they can review them.
Yeah.
But if I'm mistaken, correct me please, but I don't think if they rule a 2-minute minor, they can't look at the video and award that to a 5-minute major. I don't think they can do that. I think they can only make it 5-2.
I think you're right. Yeah, and I think that's why maybe they've become a little bit more trigger happy, like make it a 5, and then if we have to, we can reduce it.
Right. And so if that's the case, I think it's the right thing. And so you get another look at it, and they looked at it last night and said, nope, that's 5. It was 5 in our eyes, and it's 5 on the video.
Well, seen better power plays, I'll tell you that.
And I'm surprised Nelson came back, to be honest, guys. Like, he looked out to lunch, and then he gets
he gets a cross.
And then he gets roughed up by Goudreau. You're like, this guy shouldn't have been in the game. He gets roughed up by Goudreau, and there's a difference between battling and toughing it out and knowing that he didn't look right. And I know he's one of their top players, but I think you got to look bigger picture with him.
I don't know how any of that stuff gets decided, to be honest with you. I mean, like, they go into the the quiet room, they get looked at, they get the docs look at them, and then they're okay or not to play. But man, sometimes it seems like you almost know, like, if the game is of importance, the guy's coming back. If it's at all close, he's coming back, and I don't know how I feel about that.
How do you feel about Bruce Cassidy winning the Coach of the Year, Jack Adams?
I voted him second behind Torts. I voted for Torts, and I thought for a guy that had the best team in the league, by points when the thing got shut down. They also had all kinds of injuries. I thought he coached around his injuries really well. I think he's a very good coach, and I just thought what Torts did with the guys that he had in Columbus was amazing.
I don't know. Ray, you voted. I voted. I don't know. Like, this is why I think votes should be transparent. Like, who the hell voted for Q? As much as I love Q, like, Joel Quenneville got a third. They will be, though,
Jamie. They will be, though. Like, I think when they last to the awards go, I think we put them all on that line.
What is it, 1 through 3, 1 through 5?
1 through 3. But I mean, Joel Quenneville got a third place vote, which
that's outrageous.
I love Joel Quenneville, but like this is what frustrates me about some of these reporters or people that are voting are super fans.
Well, or they're overly sanctimonious. That's why I think Tortorella didn't win, because he's mean to people. Like, I think it's pretty simple. He got the Jim Rice treatment. You got the Barry Bonds treatment. You're not nice to people, so I'm not going to give you my vote. Bruce Cassidy responded to my text So he gets my vote. And I think that's what happened. Tortorella, he's a jackass to people. He is. I don't love it all the time. But what he did with that team and who left and the injuries, that should have been unanimous as far as I'm concerned. I thought Tortorella was a clear winner of the Jack Adams. And Cassidy was a remarkable coach this year. Great coach. But the only explanation I can think of is Torts is mean to people, so I'm not voting for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had him as first. I'm quite certain. I know he was on my ballot. I think he was first, and I think Cassidy. I gave Mike Sullivan a vote, I believe, too.
He had a great run in Pittsburgh.
There's another guy that had a good year.
Great,
but there could have been
did
six.
Too. There's great coaches.
There,
a bunch
Dave
of guys.
Tippett in Edmonton. Like there was, I think there were 6 or 7 guys that legitimately could have been front runners. But that's what disappoints me in seeing, like at the bottom, like, guys getting 1 vote here or there. They all add up, and some are just absolutely ridiculous. I remember
Nonsense.
I remember one year seeing Nazem Kadri got a Selke vote. Like, who the hell did that one year? Like that stuff bothers me because it's literally
the person
if it's
publicated, if it's publicized, who does this? Anyone with a donkey vote out, you're not voting again.
Well,
Sorry.
you can't. I mean, it's personal opinion, and I get that.
Okay,
but you
just
also
have somebody, have Brian Hayes say, you know what, donkey vote out. Like he's like.
Yeah, I should be the arbiter.
That's right.
That'd be great. I'd love it.
I don't know if Hayes should be the guy.
No, I'm very sensible, very objective, very sensible, a journalist. That's what people call me. So,
and maybe you could have, as a deciding vote, you could offer somebody that's got a vote that you don't like, you could offer him a hypothetical. And if he gets it right, to your satisfaction, he can stay as a voter.
Yeah. It's almost like a Bond villain type of scenario where, like, I can let you stay if you can get out of this very precarious situation. If you answer this hypothetical properly, I'll let you stick around because I like a hypothetical. And, if you agree with my answer, you're in, basically. I can be bought and paid for easily. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, I think. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all these awards and the transparency behind the votes. I get a chuckle out of some of them. Like, I didn't know that about Quenneville. That to me is just so crazy. How he ends up in the top 3 is outrageous.
Right.
But, hey, listen, there's always great coaches. I mean, every year there's examples, and it's not even about taking a shot at Cassidy. I'm not in the least. He had a remarkable year. I just thought Tort's situation and the Columbus situation was so unique and so different.